think about like, okay, what's the point of working on planets? Like you're working on the planetary energies, right? Part of it is it's helping you get outside of your mind. You know, your being on Earth, there's a kind of gravity, with Earth. It makes you feel a certain way, it makes you think a certain way, makes you have certain thought processes, and makes you think of the struggles of life. And, you know, you're tied or associated with the aspect of God that's specifically about the Earth, the planetary logos, which is good. Like I'm saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying. But like when you think of like, okay, we're working on the moon and we're working on, Jupiter and we're working on Venus and we're working on Mercury and we're working on these things, is there is a planetary logos or an aspect of God associated with that. Like with Mercury, with Jupiter,
Mhm.
with so each part of that. And so your you're focusing on the planet, which is a form, to have a kind of expansion in that area. Just like how we go, okay, into the body. I feel something in my body and I watch and I observe it and I start to expand. And then it's like, oh, I feel my emotions. Oh, I go to a situation. Well, at some point you go, okay, I'm seeing these subtle phenomenon in my inner world, in my intuitive mind, or in my sleep. And then you sit with that, and there's expansion. So that is good. But then an even greater level of that is go, okay, if I sit and perceive this aspect of this planet, it pulls you out of your mind a little bit, just like how with meditation on the heart and crown, your blessing, you have a certain kind of expansion. It's a
Mhm.
deeper kind of expansion. It's in the same vein of that, but in ways that just the heart and crown can't touch. You know what I mean? And so you
Mhm.
have these like little moments where you have these inner awarenesses, but then you come back into your normal everyday body. It makes you see the world in a very different way, a very different way. You have way more depth perception, and the things that used to be upsetting, instead of being like under the microscope, they're like binoculars that you're looking at from way far away. Like
Mhm.
it changes your perspectives of things. I mean, even if you just sit and meditate on space, like we were watching, what was it about that
Interstellar.
interstellar, like,
Mhm.
it wasn't an asteroid, it came from, outside the solar system, and it just passed through. And I was just sitting and observing, and what was it, like 20 minutes? It wasn't even very long. And then I started thinking about the things that I read in the news earlier today, and I was like, what a different perspective of just sitting there and looking at that object for 15, 20 minutes.